Okay, Ethan, today we're going to read a story about my favorite teacher.
The Corporation for National Community Service was very interested in having the most rigorous form of evaluation that could be possibly conducted.
You ready to do some reading?
Yes.
We completed the K through 3rd impact study, and that involved a randomized controlled trial of students, of 1,500 students across 23 schools.
So the study is a randomized controlled trial, which is the most rigorous type of research design you can use. It is the design that allows you to say, because of X, Y has occurred. So in this instance, because of the Minnesota Reading Corps, young students' reading scores improve.
Ready, begin.
How many wings do you see? I see 4.
And then we're going to do duet read, like we normally do.
She was really having a hard time even with just common basic words. When she would read a sentence to me, she wouldn't really understand what she had just read to me when she'd read it out loud.
If you come to a word you don't know, we'll stop and I'll tell you what it is and we'll fix that, all right?
It was frustrating to watch my daughter struggle so hard with something that's so key to learning and growing. Was devastating.
Okay, you read it for me there, would you please?
My favorite teacher is
The model, it's set up to be able to have research-based interventions that's data-driven.
each
Student,
use.
A.
Reading Corps is invaluable. Teachers would never be able to work one-on-one 20 minutes a day with a student.
Okay, you start.
But
The
best
part
is
I think it's pretty important for kids to have that rock star adult who's just always telling them what they need to do and being there every step of the way to make them successful.
At the center of what Reading Corps does is the dynamic between the student and the tutor. First, we use data-based decision-making. That means we use data to identify students who do need Reading Corps and to make sure those students are making progress. Second, we implement daily evidence-based interventions that research shows are effective. The third component is the implementation fidelity. That is the accuracy with which the interventions are implemented, as well as the accuracy with which the assessment data are collected. The key part of all of our model is the coaching. The internal coach is the local expert. They're often the school literacy expert, and they help support the tutor who is working with the student. The master coach is an external expert who has specific background and training in the Reading Corps program. And what they do is provide support to both the internal coach and the tutor.
Okay, great job. Way to go.
After Reading Corps, it was like a night and day difference. She was flying through books. It made a huge impact. Her confidence went way up. I couldn't believe the difference. I would relate it to a miracle.
We're at Stanton Elementary. This is Southeast Washington, and it's a very low-income area. You know, we've got a lot of families living below the poverty line, really struggling to find quality education for their kids.
13% of our students are special needs students, and we are 99% African American. One of the things that we've tried to do a lot this year is incorporate any of our outside tutors in our overall academic program. So our Reading Corps tutors understand how important the fundamentals are, and so that's part of our core curriculum.
And we have really fantastic teachers here. They do above and beyond the call of duty, but it's very hard in the school day to get that one-on-one time with their students. So to have an AmeriCorps person who's dedicating their time just to those kids is really amazing.
These are interventions that are research-based, and we know that they work when they are implemented in the way that they were designed. And we need to make sure that from the moment that the tutor sits down with a student, that tutor is delivering an intervention here in Washington, D.C., the same way that it's delivered in Minneapolis, the same way that it's delivered in Detroit. It needs to happen the same way across the country.
A fundamental piece of getting replication is having good coaching. So my job is to make sure that the master coach in whatever location clearly understands and has all of that knowledge right at their hands, and that they then are relaying that to the internal coach at their building and supporting the tutors so kids are ultimately making good growth.
That's one thing that's setting me up for success is both Haley being my internal coach and Shannon being my master coach.
So maybe then just like a simple change, like changing location. But
Haley's in here every day, so she sees where I'm messing up, and so she can correct me right then. I'm not just being thrown out here with a curriculum or a script. I'm being coached.
Our model works. No matter who you are, we can train you to do it, and we'll coach you all along the way. So we're not going to leave anybody hanging.
You want to have a seat over there, Sailor? I'm not formally trained with a 4-year degree, but you can do this. My
Favorite
teacher, they train you well at Reading Corps, you follow the model, and you can do it. And then we have the same thing with the first grade. You need somebody there for you to ask a question. Okay, I know we covered this at Institute, but I'm a little fuzzy on this, and can you show me how? Can you help me with this? So it's great to have that resource available at all times. Ready? Read from there down to that stop sign there.
dogs are animals that
It is an absolutely wonderful program, and I'm thrilled that we have Reading Corps. I believe it is an effective program.
how many
Reading Corps could be seen as a critical support to improving urban education. Reading Corps' ability to bring in great people, to support them with the rigorous tools of instruction, and then integrate seamlessly into the school day. You take those three things, and that is the special sauce that leads to academic achievement.
Great job. Give me a high five on that.
Reading Corps combines the best and most promising educational innovations with the power of national service to make a true impact on the needs of many students.
Every school should have this program. Every school. I'm so thankful for Reading Corps. I couldn't say it enough. It was incredible. It was a huge difference.
I would never say that anything is a silver bullet or the only way to get what you need, but of all of the programs out there, of all of the programs claiming to advance children's literacy, this one has the evidence.